Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pop Cult X, your your show for all things pop culture from our Gen X perspective. My name is Danny, and along with Gabriel, we're your hosts here on this little adventure. Gabe, it's been a while since we spoke last. A lot of things have transpired in the world, I think.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on. I'm trying to keep everything positive, focus on the good things in life, but yeah, lots of stuff going on.
Just the positive stuff. Okay, well, we'll stay with that. That's fine. I was going to get a little cavalier with my opinions today, but I can hold back, I guess. I will say this, though. I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl tomorrow. So we're recording the day before the big game, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if we could say Super Bowl. No one out there cares if we say Super Bowl or not. So, and it really bugs me that all these people feel so threatened by a Spanish language performer that they have to create their own little trailer trash secondary halftime show.
Yeah.
And it really, really, I don't know. I was listening to, so I got a Sirius XM recently. They gave me a good deal. So I said, okay, I'll sign up, listen to a lot of music. I found they have an MLB channel and baseball season starting soon. So I was excited to hear that. And then one of the hosts on one of their shows said something about, oh, I'm not watching that Spanish trash or whatever. And it just made me so mad.
Yeah.
It really, really infuriated me. And there's a comedian, I think he's also a Daily Show contributor. His name is Josh Johnson. And he did this little stand-up bit that I saw, and it made me laugh so much. It's like, he said something about how can people sit there, complain about there being a Spanish performer as on their lap, they have chips and guacamole.
Yeah.
And they're complaining about the Spanish singer, but here they are eating a taco.
Yeah.
And it just frustrates me so much. Okay. Positivity now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, just to kind of go with what along with what you're saying, I'm gonna watch the halftime show. I don't really partake in watching of sports, but I know there's a huge amount of people that are tuning in just to watch Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
So it's going to be successful regardless of whether or not people want it or not. They can have their halftime show, on the side if they like. I prefer my halftime performers to not have lyrics about being with young girls. That's just me. I'm weird like that. But they can have Kid Rock. They apparently like that type of stuff. So it kind of goes along with their leadership.
Fits right in.
It fits right in, right? So it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I'll be watching and I'll be eating some chips and some pizza or whatever, and waiting for Bad Bunny's halftime show to start. And I'll watch Green Day as well.
Yes. Yeah. So Green Day's gonna kick it off, I guess, in the opening performance. I don't know. I'm not gonna watch the game either. I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl this year, so it doesn't even matter. I am looking forward to some of the commercials though that I've seen previews for, and the main one being I think it's Redfin or Rocket Money or something with Lady Gaga.
Oh, really?
Doing a rendition of Mr. Rogers' "Won't You Be My Neighbor."
I've heard. I haven't seen it. I've heard clips of it. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that as well.
It sounds amazing of her, the way she is. She just brings elevates anything she does, right? Or anything she performs. So I'm just very curious to see the final production of that. I've seen the behind the scenes stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think there was a couple other ones, but I don't remember what they were, but we'll get to that next episode.
Yeah. Speaking of Lady Gaga, I guess we can, give her props for winning, I think, 3 additional Grammys. So she is getting up there in number. So she definitely is adding to her collection, but she was one of the top winners at the Grammys this year. We're a little behind with reporting on the Grammys, but whatever.
But it's worth the wait, y'all.
Yeah, she looked great. She looked like a vampire, which I love. She performed Applause, which was really cool. They had a robotic camera kind of doing these really cool angles. Did you watch it, by the way?
I did not see the whole Grammys. I just saw clips and pieces of it.
Okay, so you missed out with Lady Gaga for sure. That was a really cool performance. Bruno Mars with Rose was really cool. They performed APT or APT or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. That was a really cool performance. And then Lauryn Hill doing a tribute to D'Angelo was really cool.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's what I saw the most. And they also did a tribute to Ozzy, right?
Yeah, a tribute to Ozzy. I wasn't really feeling it all that much. I don't really Post Malone as like a rocker. It didn't sound all that great to me.
That's fine.
Um,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I guess it was heartfelt. But what's kind of interesting to me is that and I'm not one to complain, but here we go. When Beyonce switched from like R&B to country, you had a lot of people freaking out about that. But Post Malone has gone from what hip hop to country to rock. He can kind of move amongst all the different genres of music without anyone really like batting an eye. And
Hmm.
I'm just kind of curious, why is that? Why does he get to have a free pass to just kind of play around with any style of music? But meanwhile, if Beyonce were to do that, she's inauthentic and people
Well,
get all up in arms.
when Beyonce did do that, they created a whole new category for country music at the Grammys because of her. Well,
Yeah.
maybe it wasn't because of her, but they have now a contemporary country category and I guess, a more modern.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that's just annoying.
Yeah. So that was really annoying for me just to see him like going from genre to genre. The Osbournes were there. I felt really bad for them because obviously the passing of Ozzy has been tremendous hardship on them for obvious reasons, losing their patriarch of their family. I can only imagine. But we saw Sharon, Kelly, and Jack there in support of Ozzy's
Yeah.
remembrance. So that was kind of cool to see. Kind of heartbreaking because you can really see that they're still devastated by his passing.
Yeah. And I don't want to be, I hate being a person that like judges, not doesn't judge, but comments on their people who are looking not tip top shape.
Yeah.
And maybe it is because they're still grieving, but they look to kind of ill themselves, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad to say, like you said, but they are extremely gaunt,
Yeah.
both Sharon and Kelly.
Yeah.
And I think that Kelly has attributed it to the fact that she says that like she can't eat because of her grief, and that
Okay.
she's still well within the grief process.
Yeah.
And so I've actually personally gone through a phase where I couldn't eat due to some anxiety related issues, and I lost like 100 pounds. It was crazy. Like I literally could not put food into
Yeah.
my body,
Hmm.
like just crazy. And so I can relate to that. Like I understand that, and I hope that maybe they are getting help. Maybe they're seeking therapy or you know counseling or what have you in private, but definitely don't want to see any further tragedy come from that,
Exactly.
that situation.
Precisely. Yeah. Yeah. I hope, like you said, they are getting the help if in fact it is something that is can be treatable, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, there were lots of other really great performances. Trying to think here. Guy, I can't think of her name now. Oh my God. But it's the blonde girl that
Sabrina Carpenter?
Sabrina Carpenter. God, I couldn't think of her name. She had a really cool performance. And let's see, Bruno Mars also had a really cool performance. He did great. Lady Gaga's performance obviously was really good. I already mentioned.
Yeah.
And that was probably it for me as far as top performances with Lady Gaga kind of leading the charge. What I and also I think her name is Lola Young. She did really cool. Um,
Messy, right? Yeah.
yeah, that was a really cool performance. I didn't know she was a piano player, and to see her play piano and sing simultaneously was really cool.
Yeah, it's surprising when artists do that, right? All of a sudden they're at the piano and just belting it out. It's like, where did that come from?
Yeah, yeah, they kind of surprise you with their multi hyphenated talents, right? Like they can sing, play piano, they can act, they can do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's interesting when they do that.
Speaking of multi-talented or multi-hyphenate, Spielberg became an EGOT, I think I read.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got the Grammy for the music for the John Williams documentary or something like that.
Okay.
Don't worry, it wasn't about children and his depiction of children in films.
Yeah, I'm still not the biggest fan of his. Like, I just don't. Yeah, so cool. He's an EGOT.
Yeah,
That's
all
awesome.
right. Well,
Cool.
well,
Awesome.
some of the other winners for like record of the year with Kendrick Lamar and Luther. I heard
Yeah,
there was a little faux pas with Cher and the announcing of that, which is, it's fine.
she's up there in age. Like, let's give her some grace. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, obviously, like you could tell she was nervous. She didn't want to be on stage. Um, it was kind of an awkward moment, but like we've seen worse. Uh,
Hmm.
they won their award. Kendrick won his award, and SZA. So
Was
you know,
it SZA that covered this base said something like she probably knew Luther Vandross or something like that?
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
so
so.
that's cool. I mean, the artists there are helping each other out, so I like that.
Like you kind of are asking for it when you name a song after an artist. Like you're asking for confusion when it comes to an award.
That's
Like,
true. Yeah.
right? I mean, it's not like it was she just pulled it out of thin air. Like, you know, whatever.
Like some other people have.
Yeah.
uh,
I'm curious to see what your reaction to some of the outfits that we saw, particularly Chappell Roan. Did
oh.
you see the outfit? And
That was quite interesting. At first glance, I looked at it, I was like, "What the heck is that?" And then I took a closer look, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" I mean, she did make a statement.
yeah.
I think there was a lot of backlash, unfortunately, from a lot of the conservative people, and I think if I read somewhere, she's getting the stylist who styles her is getting like has a lawsuit against her now or something like that. It's just
Wow.
weird. I mean, kudos to her for having the courage to pull that off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
that's a lot of courage, that's for sure.
yeah, I mean that was I see those type of dresses and I picture like the VMAs, right?
Yeah.
Something that's a little more not relaxed, but a little more avant-garde, if you will. It's more not as prestigious as the Grammys. So I mean, she wants to go that route. That's fine. Kudos to her for taking
Yeah.
that challenge on. I wouldn't have worn anything like that.
Okay. Uh,
We'll leave it at that.
yeah. My thought is like I don't see what the big deal is. Like if you go in a museum and you see statues, you're going to see naked women, you're going to see
Yeah,
naked
true.
men, you're going to see breasts, you're going to see nipples. It's part of anatomy. It's like not she wasn't dressed in a sexual way, in a
Right.
sexualized way. It was kind of soft and beautiful. Um it just this fake outrage by the conservative media is really ridiculous.
It
Like
is.
they're upset about that. That's what you're upset about? Like really? With everything
Right.
that's going
Right.
on in the world, that's what you're upset about is Chappell Roan showing her nipples.
Right. And they weren't even there. They were like covered up with the whatever it was. I mean, I don't even know how the gown worked. Right. So I don't know if she was wearing like a tank top or like a sheer tank over it. That's where the fake rings were attached to, or if that was really attached to her. So
Yeah.
I guess I didn't look close enough. I don't know.
I think that there were things that were attached to her body. I don't think she was wearing a tank. I think that it was what it looked like. I don't think there was an illusion aspect to it. I think
Okay.
that it actually was what it looked like from what I could tell. But I mean, so what? It's
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
stupid for people to have this moral outrage when there's so many worse things that are going on in the world, going on in this country, that you would pretend to be, upset
Right.
about this.
You're upset
Crazy.
about that, but your
Yeah.
red hat leader has 40,000 names, named 40,000 times in the files, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, ridiculous.
So there were some other people that were really well dressed. Sabrina Carpenter always looks
Yeah.
really great. Bad Bunny looks really cool in the suit that he was wearing. I forget the designer, but it was like sort of had like a man corset in the back, like it was like tied up in the back to kind of give like this like exaggerated silhouette for him. So
I
that was what's
oh,
that?
I read somewhere about that, and there was a reason for it. Because ever since he was announced as I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe I've been spending too much time on social media scrolling through stuff. But I
Yeah.
read that he's been getting a lot of death threats ever since he was announced as a Super Bowl performer. So underneath his suit, he was wearing body armor.
That's what I've heard. And that they would said that like he was like fussing with his suit. I thought that he was fussing with it because of the corset part of
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
that was it's Schiaparelli. And
Okay.
so I that's what I thought. I honestly like if he's received death threats, like that's absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
Like I can't even believe that we live in a society where someone would be that upset about a musical performance that they would threaten someone's life. Am I shocked by that? No, but like come on, like really,
Right.
like that's so ridiculous. I really hope that that's false, that he's not having to wear a bulletproof vest or some sort of body armor in order to be in public spots. It's going to be so successful tomorrow, like his show, and it's going to be so entertaining that I think it's going to silence any critics. They're still going to be pretending like, oh my God, it's so offensive that there's a Spanish speaker on television. Ridiculous, but it's going to be successful. It's going to be entertaining. I can't wait to see it. So,
Yeah.
who cares? Like, go ahead to your Kid Rock show, like with his jokes about underage children, and we'll watch Bad Bunny.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, he did look sharp though with that. That was interesting back piece. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool. It was interesting. There's only so many things that men can do. I feel like that I like when men step out of the box and present themselves in a way that we haven't seen men dress before.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Another thing that conservatives have kind of criticized Baz Bunny about is that he's worn dresses before in performances and in public, and they're kind of mocking him, saying that he's going to wear a dress at the Super Bowl. Um, it reminds me of a Madonna song that she's kind of it's like spoken word, and it says, it's okay for a woman to cut her hair short and to dress like a man, but it's not okay for a man to dress like a woman because that's to degrade himself, and that's not okay because it's not okay to be a woman.
Right.
And it made me think about that of like how it's like why is it a big deal if a guy were to wear a skirt or a dress, but it's okay for a woman to wear a man's suit or a woman to wear something that is designated as masculine or as for men only. And it's so silly. It's like if we look at history, men have worn wigs, they've worn makeup, they've worn heels, they've worn
Yeah.
dresses, they've worn
Very true.
skirts, they've worn everything every style of fashion they've worn before in history, and it's not a big deal. It's just fashion. Like, get over it.
Yeah. No, completely agree. Completely agree.
Part of me hopes that he does show up in a dress just to like show off and like be like, so what? I'm wearing a dress. Maybe like his dancers will come out and like kill. I don't know what he's planning on doing. I'm really hoping it's going to be really creative and something it addresses things in a way that's really cleverly done. I'm hoping that that's the case. But if he just comes out and does his songs, I'll be happy with that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I haven't, I'll let it be known. I haven't even heard any of the songs. So,
Really,
but I'm still looking forward to it. I
you
mean,
have
I
to
don't have a
listen to
problem with
his
it.
songs. Like they're so good. There's a feature on Apple Music. I don't know if you have Apple Music or not,
Yeah.
but it'll translate the lyrics for you at simultaneously as you're
Oh,
listening to
cool.
it.
Okay.
So, like that helps me because I'm not fluent in Spanish. So I like to understand what I'm obviously listening to. So I've listened to his songs and it'll still show you the Spanish lyrics, but then immediately right underneath it'll show the English translation.
That's
And
cool.
that's kind of helped me understand what he's singing about. And but even if without that, I've listened to Spanish artists before and not fully understood the lyrics. Their passion and the emotion comes through for me anyway, and
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
like listening to the music regardless.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, I definitely have to listen to him. As someone you do listen to, I think that performed on the Grammys, that you like Somber. It was the
Oh
first
yeah,
time
yeah, yeah. I've
I,
heard I've
I've
heard some
heard
of
him.
it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, but I think he was nominated for Best New Artist, and he performed, and it was interesting. I'd not heard his music before.
Yeah, he's interesting. He reminds me of that. He's like in the same realm of like Benson Boone type of
Yeah.
thing. So I like that. I mean, it's weird that I like that because it's not really my. I'm not the target audience, I think, for that, but I enjoy the music. So yeah, I think who won? Olivia Dean, right?
Yeah,
Won
Olivia
Best New
Dean,
Artist. She's
Best New
really
Artist.
she's another new artist who I've found recently as well, and she's really good.
Yeah, she's really cool. I'm really glad that she won. I thought that was well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we haven't talked yet about the history that was made, I guess, for the album of the year, which of course was won by Bad Bunny. It's the
Yeah,
very first Spanish language album to win album of the year.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That was pretty awesome, actually. Yeah, it was really cool, and just to see his what would you call it? His reception from the audience at the Grammys. Like so many other artists were like showing him love. I
Hmm.
saw a clip of like during a commercial of Reba McEntire going up and congratulating him and giving him a hug, and I just thought like it like you respect that like good music is good music, like regardless of who it's coming from,
Yeah,
like what language it is. And if you can't recognize that, then you're a racist, like you're prejudiced, like that all it comes down to.
yeah, basically, yeah. And I think him and a lot of other artists use their acceptance speech to call out ICE and to
Yeah.
call ICE out. And I think Billie Eilish said you can't be illegals on stolen land. His speech was very good, saying that ICE out. We're not savages. We're not animals. We're not aliens. We're humans, and we are Americans. I thought that was very powerful on one of music's biggest platform and nights, right? So and for I know some people will say, "Oh, stick to your music and stuff," but when it gets to stuff that's bigger than music and it's the humanity of it all, they have a right to, and maybe not just a right, more of a duty
Yeah.
to call out the inhumanity and inhumane practices that are happening. So kudos to him for not only winning, but for taking the time out of his moment and his honor to bring humanity back to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really excellent. It just makes me more excited to see what his upcoming show is going to be like. To be honest, I can't wait. I'm really excited.
I think everyone out there, if you're watching this, whenever you're watching this, go check our Instagram live because Gabriel's going to be doing a live reaction feed. No,
Yeah.
not putting any pressure on you to do that or anything, but maybe. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you never know. I might. It's always like as a photographer, like I always am torn between documenting a moment happening and experiencing it. So like wanting to fully be in the moment without like having my camera out, and then but also like that pressure of like trying to document it at the same time.
Yeah, yeah,
And so it's definitely a hard choice of like when you want to be in the moment and you don't want to be looking through a camera lens, you want to be seeing the real moment. So it's hard decision to make.
well, that's why I said after, not real time.
Yeah.
After. So
Okay. Well, we'll see.
after. So you get to enjoy it, maybe revel in it for a little bit, And then you can get online and be like, this is what I thought.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll see. We'll do that.
No pressure. Everyone out there's counting on you, Gabe.
So, were there any other winners that you were excited about seeing?
Had no idea who Turnstile is. I mean, I think I've heard the name, but never heard any of their music. Same goes for Youngblood. Oh, Nine Inch Nails won for Best Rock Song. Oh,
Okay.
The Cure, Best Alternative Music Album, their first Grammy since they started like 50 years ago. Right? Robert Smith and them, they'll say that they're not in it for the awards, right? They're in it to make the music. But come on, there's got to be a part of him that's like, this is cool.
Yeah. Any sort of acknowledgement and recognition, I think, must feel great for artists. Even if you say it's just an honor to be nominated, but receiving that sort of recognition from your peers, it has to feel amazing.
Yeah, and that was a really good album too.
Yeah.
So
still making
the Cure. What was that?
They're still making good music.
Yeah, and I think they're coming up with. I thought this was going to be their very final album because what it's titled and everything that led up to it. But I think they are making one more album. So
okay,
yeah, that's what I was excited about, seeing them win.
Yeah. So we've talked about the Super Bowl and the halftime. I'm kind of curious. Is there a performance during the halftime that like sticks out to you that's like that's the bar, like that was a really entertaining halftime show, like the one that really sticks out to you in your memory?
If I had a list of all of them in front of me, I think I'd be able to tell you that one. But
mine is easy. Mine is Lady Gaga. Like
yeah, that was a great one.
From the sky,
Coming down,
in the middle of the football field, and then performing her music and doing an amazing job with it. Lady Gaga all day.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. I mean, I'd have to look up other ones, but that one is a standout one. I remember watching a documentary about her. I think it was called like 5'2" or something like that, and they went through the process of rehearsal for that. And I think she was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, she has
her condition when they did that Super Bowl performance, but she still fought through it, got into that harness and everything. So yeah, just everything that goes with it. That's definitely a standout one.
Yeah. That to me is like the bar that you measure, or the measuring stick to like measure everyone else's performance. For me, like that was just the best. I don't think you can do much better than that. So hopefully we'll see if Bad Bunny is able to pull it off tomorrow.
Yep, I hope so. And I'm looking forward to it. Out there in the comments, you guys let us know what you thought of it, because I'm sure you'll probably watch this after it's happened. So let us know what you thought, if you enjoyed it. And now, if you did go watch the other, you don't have to say anything. Just keep moving. I don't want to hear it. I think it's come down to that point almost where, like, you know what? I don't want to give the time of day to those people anymore.
Yeah.
So there you go. PopCultX episode 198 in the books. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, especially if you're like us and you want ICE out of this country. Hit all the buttons.
Yep.
Anything else, Gabe, you want to close on?
Stay safe, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.